Hello, my name is Alita Gonzalez, and this is Module 7 Individual Assignment Diversity and Inclusion Workshops using Universal Design. So a brief introduction, like I said, my name is Alita Gonzalez, and the field of choice that I decided to reflect on for this analysis is in the secondary educational school. This means that I wanted to be talking to middle school or high school systems and being able to connect with them on how we want to grow a relationship with our students as well as with our staff in an inclusive environment. In my diversity component, I decided to reflect on understanding cultural groups. So why this diversity component? Well, cultural groups are individuals that share common beliefs, traditions, values, and so on. It even relates to their behaviors, their capabilities. It branches into groups based on ethnicity, geography, religion, race, age, gender, language, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, and disability. It is not only associated with their character and their background, but also it relates to who they are in the society that we have grown. So what is the objective of this workshop? What will we be learning? I want our staff to be able to learn about what makes it an inclusive environment, how to value their students and who they are, as well as leaving behind any biases and going forward with no judgment. It is time to be able to understand what culture holds for each individual and obtain an open mind to promote this new welcoming atmosphere. So what outcomes do we want from that? We want to be able to enforce an inclusive and inviting environment, push forward this agenda to the students, and be able to connect with them through creativity, such as providing books, activities, lectures, and more as the staff. And we want to be able to open the floor in classrooms for discussion and create a non-judgmental classroom, be able to expand these perspectives and unionize in harmony. So what is a culture group? Culture groups are the identification of an individual that creates who they are, what they believe, and the behaviors they inhabited within these groups of even society itself. For each individual, they belong to a variety of groups based on their characteristics such as race, ethnicity, religion, geography, socioeconomic status, age, sex, sexual orientation, language, and disability, all stemming on different aspects of culture. For example, I am a 23-year-old straight Mexican-American woman in a lower middle-class status that speaks 2 languages from Central Texas. I, like others, stem from a variety of groups that I identify with and have pride of because that is who I am. As educators, I would like to promote the identity of my students and help them embrace their character because the number of factors to define diversity is truly unlimited, and you must take the time to expand on the value behind it. So what are some current issues that we face with this diversity component? As of today, diversity continues to be a topic that has been continuing to be enhanced, but also face numerous of controversies based on the opinions of others and what they believe to be a fair cost. Within each cultural group lies experiences that are what diversify and involve communities, allowing individuals to connect and learn from each other. And this can bring on not only the positive outcomes of growth and perseverance, but there's also a negative side that can halt their improvement of perspective and even lead to bigger issues. Here are some examples that many of us have seen in our current media. The first thing I wanted to bring up is what we have seen in our entirety of our country, aka our society, as when it comes to the 2024 presidential election and what that can mean for marginalized groups. One thing is for sure that when it comes to the elections, a lot of topics are brought up. We bring into play what does religion stand for when it comes to this, what does race and ethnicity stand for, because it also represents the culture groups that we look at, and so on. For this, it is a very serious topic. It is something that we can't even keep out of our classrooms. So we must be able to be looking into these current issues and identifying how we can connect to our students, especially when it comes to opposing arguments and beliefs. The second actually comes from corporations and companies and what they actually look at when it comes to the DEI training. DEI standing for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. What this means is that many companies as of today have renounced their training for DEI and actually wants to relinquish any requirement that could mean behind that training. With these corporations creating a new atmosphere for their employees and relinquishing any training that helps with diversity, equity, and inclusion, it is a presence of difference in the dimensions of human identity, as well as how we will perceive not only our workplaces, but as well as how we will perceive our coworkers, employees, and so on. Now we look at the Board of Education. Our Board of Education has helped us create our curriculum for our students. It has even helped us shape the way we run our school systems. For our presidential election that has happened recently, this has actually been a topic of releasing away the Board of Education and creating a new requirement for states to create their own curriculum. It is a heavily debated topic and something that will actually impact not only our students but our educators as well. But even with these negative connotations that has halted the way we pursue our diversity when it comes to training requirements, Board of Education, and so on, we must be able to highlight the positive outcomes that we have seen, the growth and the perseverance that has come out when it comes to different forms of connection with the people in our society. One thing that we should look at is how we see culture in entertainment. A lot of entertainment that we have tend to use now is our social platforms. This can be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and so on. We are able to not only connect to the whole world around us, but we'll be able to understand and learn about it. We embrace this culture and we even see it as positivity because we are growing from what we have seen in history and developing a whole new world that will bring in more generations and create a safer and peaceful environment. This dwells into the culture in our school systems, being able to create a more inclusive environment for our students and creating an open discussion in our classrooms. This could be being able to talk about what we have seen in our media, what we have seen in our history so far, and asking those important questions to be able to not only connect to the world around us, but be able to understand it and learn from it. Now, what is the connection between universal design and culture groups? Well, universal design is the composition of an environment strategized to be accessible for all individuals no matter their age, disabilities, or abilities, and else. These designs are used worldwide as solutions to connect to the world in a manner that will support everyone. So what's the connection? Culture groups define the background, ancestry, physicality, and the origin of the person and identifies their character overall. This also means considering what language they speak, their understandings, their values, and even their capabilities, which ties to what universal designs aim to target: an environment that is accessible, usable, convenient, and a pleasure to use. Everyone benefits. Culture groups is the recognition of everyone and what they need, just like universal design is to shape the environment around us. Now, how should we design the workplace itself? The concept of diversity does not only have value in our history, but continues to change the way we view it as well as the actions we take to do for our present time. As staff, we must be able to take the appropriate training to know what diversity means, what value it holds in our day-to-day lives, and how we can create and promote an inclusive environment not only for our staff but for our students as well. We must be able to not only embrace the meaning of diversity, but also encouraging respect for individual perspectives and cultures in the workplace. It is a process that takes time to learn, but taking the time to reflect and be aware of every culture group and their significance within our society, we'll be able to grow and learn along with our students. Now, who are the people that we should be looking up to? Who are the advocates? There are many workplaces that have long taken and formed a new perspective on how to acknowledge, understand, and support culture groups within society as a whole, and they continue to attend to their meaning. Places from the coffee shops you stop by to grab a drink before your shift to medical fields that have people from all different backgrounds coming in and out, diversity continues to hold power in acknowledging when we know and seeking out help when we need time to understand. For us, school staff, I want to use our own history of education as an advocate for diversity. We all had a teacher that we looked up to, some that even encouraged us to enter the educational field, and hold a spot in our life that we cherish. From the fun, creative ways they brought education to life to even the connections they made with their students, let us take that in and use it as a way to enhance our classrooms today. So what are the takeaways? As educators, we are the first people that leave a mark in a student's life. We are their first view of the world around them, and we are their first environment to introduce them to new policies, new ideas, and even new dreams. As educators, we must take the time to look at each other and look at our students not only as learners but as individuals, as the future of our world. We have to be able to connect with them, support them, and help them grow a world that cherishes those that inhabit it. If we're able to create this inclusive environment full of love, care, and understanding, they will be able to succeed in our world and make it for the better. Want to learn more? Here are some links if you want to learn more about culture groups and its spot on what diversity and inclusion is. This includes a couple of TED Talks and an article about culture diversity in the classroom. Now here are my references and picture citations. Thank you so much for listening on to this presentation.